Hey, good afternoon, everybody. I hope you're doing well. It is wonderful to see you guys all here today, and I am really happy to be coming to you. Well, I don't know, it's kind of cold. I'm actually here in Connecticut, and it is definitely a little chilly. I'm going to turn on my video here so that you can see the proof. Um, Anyway, I wanted to just talk to you today and get together. This is our normal bi-weekly um, Ask Me Anything open office hours session, during which I typically will give some topics to talk about and some things to discuss. And thereafter, anybody that has anything that they want to ask me about their particular situation, they are open and feel free to do so. The beginning part of the session here is recorded, just so everybody knows. And then as we get into private discussions, the recordings, I will shut the recording off and we can talk about individual questions and things along those lines. So what I want to talk to you guys about this week is really important with regard to your ability as a leader, your ability as that family member that people look to, that family people count on to become the leader and the advocate for your loved ones who are struggling with mental illness or people who you are acting as a caregiver for. At Family Empowerment Now, we are all about strengthening our own resolve and our own courage to stand up and be the leader that our loved ones so desperately need. That's why we have our private network for all of us family members to get together and stand with each other and strengthen each other by virtue of community. That is myfenow.com. So please go there and join us if you are interested in becoming part of our community and part of a tribe of people who are experiencing the same journey or have experienced a very similar journey to what you are on. So as we talk about the empowered family and the concept of leadership in the empowered family, one of the things that we have to understand is that we are influencers. We are persuaders. This is not to say in any way that we are trying to coerce people or trick people into, following us or being part of what it is that we're aspiring to do. Instead, it's really about that je ne sais quoi, feeling of that you have as people look to you with something that they just can't identify, but something that they more or less know that you are a person of substance, a person who matters, and somebody who shouldn't be taken lightly, and somebody who leads by example, right? Somebody who's a role model and therefore garners respect just by virtue of that essence, that side of themselves. So I'm going to ask you a series of questions like I do every other week. And I want you to rate yourself on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 to 5, however you want to do it. And remember, this is not a place for you to beat yourself up. This is not a place where I'm looking to beat you up. This is for you to get really down and gritty and get introspective about you. Really do some deep thinking about how you are in terms of your persuasion and your influence upon other people. And how is that character within you allowing you or helping you to keep moving the ball forward, keep getting people interested, keep getting people on your corner, keep getting more and more people to help you. So the very first question that I would ask you is, with regard to your persuasiveness, with regard to your family, if you think about this, what do you feel your level of conflict is? In other words, do you have real intense conflict with your loved ones, with your family members, with other team members, or other people who you're looking to provide support? Because if you're having really intense conflict, it typically means that there's a communication breakdown somewhere. And when there's lacking verbal communication, it usually means that we're not being real intentional and real influential as leaders, and that we need to work on. If we're having sort of bad communication and we're having bad conflicts with other people, it typically means that somewhere our empathy needs to be worked on, our understanding of their particular zone or their particular role. Maybe our patience is a little waning, which is very typical for almost all of us right now in this world we're living in. And we really need to work on this because a real good leader does not have intense conflicts. A real good leader has conflicts, there's no question about it, but the intensity of the conflicts is greatly reduced. So rate yourself on that 1 to 10 scale and let me know how you're doing at the end of the discussion today. Next thing that we want to talk to with regard to influence or persuasion is look back at things that you have been wanting to accomplish, things that you've been wanting to achieve for the last year, 2 years, or whatever. What's been your speed of achievement? I mean, do you have big goals that you've had forever and ever and they're just not getting done? Do you have big plans or dreams for your loved one that you're caring for and they're just not getting there? I bet you if you give this some thought, it's because you haven't really taken the time to enlist or enroll other people to support you. Or have you been able to delegate chores, tasks, projects to help you to help other people? Have you been able to leverage your position, leverage that persuasion, that influence that we just talked about to influence other people to help you to achieve those goals? I venture to guess that many of you listening to my voice today are going to say that for the most part, I feel alone. For the most part, I feel like I've got to do it on my own and I'm doing it all by myself. Because so many people in your position have told me exactly that. That's why we have Family Empowerment Now. That's why we have our network and why we have our community, because we really want to encourage people that you don't have to do this yourself. I know you've heard me say this before. You can go far, you can go really fast by yourself, but you can go really far with a community, right? And this is about going far, not necessarily going fast. Okay, next question. How many people, supporters, friends, people within your influence, your sphere of influence, how many do you have in your life? How many people do you have in a quantitative level, not qualitative? How many people do you actually have in your life? And this goes back to the last point. Are you coming at life from a place of alone? Or do you have an overabundance? Do you have people in your life that you can count on? Please, again, this is not about judging yourself and beating yourself up because, oh, I don't have any friends. That's not what this is about. This is about people that you can count on. On one hand, if you can have a friend, a real good friend who always said, if you could count on one hand the number of people that would give their eye tooth for you, if that's the saying, I don't even know if that's the saying or not, but that would give the shirt off of their back for you, 5 people, you're a lucky person. You're a very lucky person and you should honor that. Okay, 4th, when you're talking to your friends, your family, your loved ones, your people you're caring for, what's your level of energy? Is everybody just sitting around moping and sort of just going through motions? Are you going through motions? Because if you are, and again, I want you to do some introspection and think about this. If you're going through motions every single day, you need to level that up because people are not going to be persuaded by you. People don't get inspired by you or influenced by you if you're just somebody who goes through the motions. You got to bring that spiritual energy, that mental stamina, right? And because as a leader, this is on you. This is what makes you. And that energy is palpable to others and they feel it. And it just drips off of you and people want to be around it. You got to be, what we say, be intentional about your life and be intentional about making sure others are coming at you with energy. If you're sitting around a get-together, if you're still having get-togethers and everybody's moping around, be intentional about it. Call them out. It doesn't have to be nasty. Just say, hey guys, why are we all doom and gloom here today? Can we, tell a joke, get a little laughter going? I want to lift you up. That's what I'm doing with you guys right now, right? I'm trying to raise the inflection of my voice and be excited about this concept of persuasion, this concept of influence, and how important it is to you as a caregiver, as a loved one. It's very, very important. And I would be doing you a disservice if I was sitting here just saying, yeah, we gotta be open about it. You guys are bumming me out. This is boring. Let's just move on to the next thing and just get off of the screen here today. You're responsible for what you do, what you bring to the table every single day. You have to be, you have to acknowledge that and be prepared for that you got it in you to bring that out in other people. So those are the four main topics that I wanted to touch on today with regard to influence and how you as a family leader have to be persuasive with other people. And if you've gone through those and listened to them, again, scoring yourself on a scale of 1 to 10, are you a 40, which is you're just hitting it out of the park? Are you a 4, which really means that we need to get together and have some more private conversations together? Or are you, a 20? That means we got to ramp it up. I want to see 30s and higher out of all of you in this regard, because I want you to be high performers, because your loved ones need it, your family needs it, the service system, the mental health system need you to be that much better. So that's what we're going to do. So how are we going to get there? How are we going to get there? I got 5 things that I want you to work on. Okay, and I'll run through them quickly. Number 1, adopt that role model mindset. Think about your energy. Think about the influence you have beyond yourself. What is the life message that you're communicating? One of my mentors and coaches, Brendan Burchard, says he has this threshold concept that every time he walks through a threshold, a doorway, he thinks about how he's going to bring himself into that room. What is his message going to be as he walks into that room? Because he wants to be aware of the social influence that he's having. Are you aware of that? Are you present? Are you really congruent with what you want to be? Because as I said, again, if you adopt that role model mindset, people will become or will look to you as a role model. It's the way things are. It's the way we are as human creatures. Think about this too. You as a parent have little kids at one point in time. Maybe you still do have little kids. Think about when they're watching you in the kitchen or they're watching you out in the yard. You're a role model. You wouldn't want to be doing something outrageous. You want to show them the right way to do things. Think about that as a life example. You want to translate that to every aspect of your life. You want other people to learn and feed off of your energy. And the second part of this is, and the next item that we can work on is giving ourselves permission to be that person. Give yourself the permission to be a persuasive person. It's hard sometimes. It's awkward. Like, who the hell am I to tell anybody to do anything? I'm struggling with my own crap, right? Well, we all have that head trash. We all have that. You have to push other people. When you push other people, you will find a level of challenge for yourself, and you will find a level of challenge for them. Challenge yourself. That is the key here. Keep on challenging. It's just a wonderful way to continue to grow. The next item that really is important when you're trying to be a role model for other people is to be empathetic. Not pathetic, empathetic, right? When you're having communications, when you're talking to other people, recognize their struggles, okay? Just don't say, oh, I can relate to that because this happened to me too. That's not helping people. Empathy is not about feeling sorry for somebody, and it's not sympathy. Empathy is, do people feel that you feel them, that you relate to them? I know you're scared. I know this is a weird thing. I know this is hard. I know what you're going through. I can relate. I want to help you. You need to be explicit about being empathetic. You need to let people know that you empathize with them, because that explicit if that's the word, being explicit and being empathetic together is what makes you an influential person. There's anger out there, right? There's hurt, there's rage out there. And that's all generated by worry. That's the core concept of all these emotions. But when you are empathetic, when you express that empathy to other people, you really get to a place where they feel you know them, you're living with them, you can relate to them on a level. This is more than just relating to them, but you understand other people's struggles, okay? All of humanity struggles. It's all about struggle, progress. Understand that. That's what this is about. And when you're talking to people, you understand that they have struggles and you understand that they're going to make progress. Okay, number 4, the amount of influence that you have on people is directly related to the questions that you ask them. I have a friend that passed away a few years ago. His name was Jack Caulfield, one of the most wonderful guys you've ever wanted to know. He died, unfortunately, of cancer. And he was just the greatest. He was the greatest at this. You would have a conversation with Jack, and I would introduce him to new people, and Jack would take those people aside for at least a half hour or an hour and just get to know them. And it wasn't in an awkward or obnoxious way. He would get to know you on a level, and he would repeat your name. He would say, how are you, Phyllis? What do you do, Phyllis? What can we do? Where do you live, Phyllis? Where do you work, Eden? Tell me about the position that you're holding. He would really get to know you really quickly and really deeply, and we have felt it. And the people that I introduced Jack to became lifelong friends of Jack's as well, and they all said the same thing. My God, he could be the best salesman in the world. He's just so great at making us feel important, right? By asking other people questions about themselves and allowing people to talk about themselves, it makes them feel important. And that feeling resonates. That feeling builds them up, and they look to you and thank you for giving them that feeling. Okay, and the last thing that I want to talk to you about is this concept of benefit extension. You know that you can help your loved one if you do this, right? Or if you refer them to something. You can help others by you got to let them know the impact that they have on you, on their friends, on their social circle. A real simple, good example of this would be working with a little kid, right? And saying, you didn't do your work again, and your teacher called. Your teacher seems really nice. Do you like your teacher? Yeah, I like my teacher. Well, did you do the work? No, I didn't do the work. Why didn't you do the work? Because I didn't feel like it. Well, your teacher works really hard to try to teach you and to try to be a good teacher. And it probably makes her feel pretty sad when you don't do your work in school, don't you think? Yeah, because that's what kids would say. Yeah. Do you want your teacher to feel bad? No. Well, don't you think that maybe if you try a little harder, you can make your teacher feel a little better about the job she's doing and being a teacher to you? Yeah. This is what I'm talking about, benefit extension. Okay. So we talk about this a lot with, for instance, family members who don't take their medications or follow prescribed treatments or engage with their care managers or their therapists. This person's here because they care about you. Do you like Johnny? Yeah, Johnny's all right. He's a good guy. Well, he's there dedicating an hour of his time every week for you. And you're just going in there and going through the motions, man. Johnny, that's not fair to Johnny, is it? Nah, probably not. That's the kind of thing. Let people know that they are important, that what they do, it has influence and impact on other people. And as you point that out to them, people tend to understand better that, yeah, they are important in this world. There are people that care about them in this world. Oh, and by the way, you're the one that made them feel that way. That's how you raise that sphere of influence for yourself and of yourself. You do the same thing with your care providers. You do the same thing with the team of people who are out there that are trying to help you to help your loved one. Be that persuasive person. You have it in you. You would not be here right now. You wouldn't be listening to my voice every week in, week out, every single day on Facebook, on social media, and YouTube, wherever you find me, if you didn't have it in you that you weren't interested in doing this. So this is all about you. Your ability to influence and persuade others, not in a coercive way, but your ability to influence and persuade others is absolutely mandatory for you to help continuously move the ball down the field. And that's what life is all about. Struggle, recovery, move the ball down the field. Okay, so folks, I really appreciate you being here and listening to this week's quick session on influence. That being said, it is 20 after 6, it's 20 after the hour, and I'm going to stop the recording now, and I will